Automated teller machines, or what we call ATMs, are our safe little box that we trust to dispense our money from the bank. But how safe are these ATMs, really? Well, ATM robbery is something that is not new to us. I mean, each unit of ATM can hold up to $200,000, which is enough reason to trick people, device skimmers, or even brute force to open them through an excavator. Before we go on, you already know what to do. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and ring the notification bell to keep in touch with us. We have more similar videos coming for you very soon. Now, without any further ado, let's begin. We know that this happens, and we trust that the banks and financial institutions are already taking actions and precautions for this matter. If you remember, back in 2014, a mass robbery of over $1 billion was reported by Kaspersky, one of the world's largest privately held cybersecurity companies founded in Russia. From 100 banks in 13 countries, just by hacking into the bank's servers. When experts were asked about what would be the solution to avoid getting hacked again, they simply said that they can't do anything about it. How did the hackers do something like this? What did they do to be able to carry out such large-scale attacks? I'm sure you have a lot of questions. To put it simply, it all came down to something known as jackpotting in the cybersecurity industry, with the Ploutus wave being the most well-known example. If you want to know more about this, all you have to do is stick around and don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done that, and be sure to like and hit the notification bell to not miss any of our upcoming videos. How did it all start? Barnaby Jack, a man that made a permanent mark on the world of cybersecurity with his countless genius works of analyzing and exposing weaknesses of the world's modern cyber systems. His vulnerability research work exposes and evaluates whether the companies and businesses are really delivering what they are telling you to as to how secure their machines are. But it was his presentation at the Black Hat 2010 conference that cemented his reputation. Imagine if you could have an ATM machine spit out money with just a few steps. This scheme isn't your typical ATM fraud or skimming. This is a revolutionary hack, or should I say, hacks, called by Barnaby Jack, jackpotting. That's right, hacks! Because Barnaby Jack's jackpotting cannot just be done in one way, but two. First is by physical access of the ATM. The way to do this is to open up the upper box of the machine, which contains all the electronic devices in the ATM architecture, through a general access key that can be easily bought on the dark web or even, surprisingly, on sites like Alibaba. Then, just by connecting it to a tablet or smartphone and activating a malware designed to take control of the machine, by just a few clicks, the perpetrator can now get the money that the ATM spewed out. Even though this first method alone is just as revolutionary and sophisticated enough by itself, the second method is much scarier than this. It is by remote access. How is this even possible? Barnaby explains in his presentation that by accessing the internal cash system of a bank, hackers can make any ATM unit of the bank spit out as much money as they want. And with the money mule on the site, all they have to do is get the money and leave. The bomb that Barnaby presented at the Black Hat conference easily became the talk of the town in the cybersecurity space. It's only a matter of time when this information spreads and somebody can replicate or even improve the idea. The birth of the Ploutus wave. Fast forward to the 14th of October in 2013. The nightmare of financial institutions began to be a reality when the first large-scale attack was recorded in Mexico. Groups of hackers compromised over 450 ATM units, resulting in a loss of over $400 million. Upon their investigation of abnormal cash transactions, they found out that all of the ATMs used were infected by a malware named Ploutus Made in Latin America XD. This was the first iteration of what experts called the Ploutus wave. Even 3 years after Barnaby Jack exposed the danger of jackpotting, ATMs were still not equipped with enough security measures to prevent it. And the fact that most of the ATMs around the globe are homogeneous and are fundamentally the same in design and functionalities. This makes penetrating through ATM units much easier. This is because most of the ATM units used by the banks are produced by 4 major vendors. If an attack was successful to one machine, this means that a large number of ATM units are at risk. This is exactly what happened to banks like Citibank and Unicredit in Mexico. What they have in common is that their ATM units are all operating through CAL ATM software. Furthermore, another reason was at the time, while all of these attacks were constantly happening, most of the ATM units were still running on Windows XP, which had security updates already discontinued by Microsoft. The race of updating the security patches of ATM machine software that would provide a temporary solution before the Ploutus malware has begun. However, the banks found out that the solution to the update was already being sold on the dark web with instructions on how to operate the software. The threat was now escalated exponentially as anybody could hack and compromise an ATM around the globe. The Carbanak entrance. According to an official report issued by Kaspersky Lab, an unknown group of hackers assaulted multiple banks and financial institutions late 2013. All of these attacks followed a similar pattern. The cybercriminals began by gaining entry into an employee's computer through spear phishing, infecting the victim with the Carbanak malware. They were then able to jump into the internal network and track down administrators' computers for video surveillance. This allowed them to see and record everything that happened on the screens of staff who serviced the cash transfer systems. In this way, the fraudsters got to know every last detail of the bank clerk's work and were able to mimic staff activity in order to transfer money and cash out. Additional details about this sophisticated scheme of the attackers is that they made IT staff of the banks dance in the palm of their hands by sending them an email, asking them to fix some of the bank's computers. Little did they know, when they entered the admin credential and password, a keylogger program was already installed to the computers, and with the remote access software, they have been able to observe every bank transaction, making them now unstoppable. The next thing you know, hundreds of ATMs have been affected. Investigations are still ongoing, and now private and government associations have joined forces and have managed to arrest people who are involved with the crime. But these people are only the money mules, not the leaders. So what exactly changed? Did the police, cybersecurity experts, and financial institutions make a difference? Well, they definitely did. But if we compare it to how fast their adversaries evolve and develop, we can't really say that for sure. What has fundamentally changed between when Barnaby Jack presented and now? Red Balloon's Sui says, the same types of attacks that would have worked against laptops and laptop operating systems 15 years ago largely wouldn't work now. We've leveled up. So why is it that the machine that holds the money has not evolved? That's incredible to me. What are your thoughts on these attacks? Do you still believe that your money is safe in the bank? Share your opinion in the comment section below. Like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our upcoming videos. As always, thanks for watching.